All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start off by giving all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Kadash. The honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, the men that taught us this truth, and peace and salutation, brakathum, to all you sincere Akim out there that's laboring in this truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Salakia. You know, and once again, we out here, indoor, sit down, because due to the weather conditions, we out, we gotta, take it indoor, all right? And through the spirit, a lot of things been happening. Right now, we're currently in a, government shutdown, a partial government shutdown. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things going on. You got America is sending warships out there in Iran. You got ICE, basically grabbing Jacob. We're definitely in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Okay, and things are just going to increase. Okay, as far as the days go by, man. Matter of fact, if you could start off with what's that? Jeremiah.
I like Jeremiah 51 and 9. But
Okay.
You want something else?
Yeah. I mean, you can start there.
Okay.
But I wanted Jeremiah. That's the spirit. I wanted Jeremiah the 50th chapter, but we can start
Okay.
there though. In the spirit.
All right. This is Jeremiah 51 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Right. Because the point is that America is not going to be healed because this place is destined to go down. All right. As far as according to Bible prophecy, America is known as Babylon the Great, and eventually it will be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. And right now, America is 38 trillion in debt, and it's going to constantly keep going, man. To the point where America is going to have to default on its, on its debt, because the point is that America is not going to be able to pay that loan back, and eventually it's going to have to reset, and things are going to be where it's going to go digital. Okay, that's where the next phase of how things are going. It's going to be digital. It started with the digital ID. Okay, different countries are adopting the digital ID because that's a part of where they're gonna basically know everything about you. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna tie it in on a microchip. They're gonna put everything, all your information, your medical history, your everything about you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be enlisted on this chip. So right now they're starting with the digital ID. Then it's gonna be CBDC. Right? And that's how you're gonna be able to acquire to make payments. You know what I'm saying? That's the MOTB. That's everything is leading towards that. You know what I'm saying? So right now everything is gradually taking place in the earth right now. They're starting with that, and eventually, it's going to be where, to get to know who you are as a person, it's going to be implanted on that chip, and it's going to be in your hand and in your forehead, because that's the prophecy written in Revelation the 13th chapter. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. You got it.
Read it again.
Yep. Jeremiah 51 and 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Mm-hmm.
Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies.
That's right. So America is going to get judged for its wickedness, man. Because America promotes, all type of wicked things here in this place. As far as, witchcraft, homosexuality, pedophilia, all that stuff that takes place here in America, man. So the sins of this place is going up to the heavens, man, to the point where the Lord is going to judge this place eventually. Okay, because America is that whore, okay? Written in what's that Revelation what's that 17, I believe. I believe when John, the Apostle John, he's seen, America. America was likened to a beautiful woman, but she was actually a whore. You know what I'm saying? She's the whore that sitteth upon many waters. So, America is that place that's going to be destroyed eventually, man, because of her wickedness. If you could get you got something? Go ahead.
Yeah. This is Nahum 3 and 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that setteth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts.
That's right. That's what America promotes, man. Okay? High level sorcery, man.
Yeah.
Okay? In order to to make it here in the society, you have to worship Satan.
Yeah.
That's a must, man. All right? And they promote that, which that whole MAGA thing, all right, when you go into it, MAGA is an actual demon, okay, which goes back to Egypt. You know what I'm saying? It's not by coincidence that America is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, man. Okay? Because when you go, I believe MAGA is like a actual deity that they will be calling on in the ancient Egyptians, they would call on that deity, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're seeing that all being played all over again, man. So America is very, when it comes to high level sorcery, man. Okay, that's very much being promoted here in America, man. Yeah. By these celebrities. Okay, they'll tell you, in order to basically make it in Hollywood, you gotta sell your soul. You gotta sacrifice, a loved one. Okay, things like that, man. This is how you get on in Hollywood. It's not because of your, because you're a great singer or a great athlete. It's what you're willing to do. You know what I'm saying? To appease these devils, man, these demons, man.
And some things they do, and forgive me if I'm wrong, brother and Akim, and some things they do where they get too far into where they let them know the terms like, yo, this person got to be clicked in your family, and they ain't with it, it's happening anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's happening anyway, but if I'm wrong, forgive me.
Hey, perfect example. You had Jennifer Hudson. You know what I'm saying? She sacrificed her whole family. In the same, I believe the same year or the following year, she received a Grammy. An Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Because she did what she had to do, man.
I walked past this chick one time. She was with a bodyguard. I was on the upper west side, just doing my regular walk from one location to the next. And I guess they had the movie trailer shits. And she was walking out with a bodyguard. I felt a fucking demonic aura from her, yo. I'm like, all right. Yo, I felt it. Like, yo. I'm like, yo. I'm like, I don't want to say hello to this chick or nothing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Wicked. They're evil, man. You know what I'm saying? They're very evil, man. All right? And you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, all you see is the fame and the glitz and the glamour, but you don't see what they do behind the scene, man. All right, how they really get down, man. Now it's coming out that Jay-Z, Pusha T, they were all involved in that Epstein files, man. They're all in there. You know what I'm saying? Showing you the wicked things that they do behind the scenes, man. So yeah, man, it's all coming out. All right.
Sure.
Bill Gates, basically, he gave his wife an STD. He was trying to get some STD medication to give to his wife.
Yeah.
You know what
Now
I'm
you
saying?
see what I mean? Now look,
It's all coming out, man.
Like with our people, you gain the world and lose your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Forget these heathens, cause them higher up heathens, they know their judgment in the next life. So it's their job to do all this wickedness and live their best life now,
Right.
cause they know this is it for them.
That's it.
But you Jakes, you don't see the bigger prize. You don't see the bigger picture, man. You say, yo, you think you're a boss, but you're not, your actions show you're not moving 12 steps ahead or whatever. Because you don't see Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is bringing judgment here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. That's what it said. Where there's no vision, the people perish. You know, they don't see the vision of the kingdom. You know what I mean? That the kingdom coming, you know, very soon, man. All right. You don't see our Lord, you know, being, you know, who the world English calls so-called Jesus Christ. You know, they don't look at the Lord as being a so-called black man.
No, and they don't think it's gonna happen in this lifetime. Right. And they also don't understand. You made an agreement with death with these elites and these deities. Mm-hmm. They're gonna turn on you. Their whole thing was for you to help keep Jake asleep. Yeah. Once you're done, they're not gonna uphold their pledge to you or agreement. They're gonna that's gonna be void and a null, whatever you want to say. They're gonna turn on you.
Yeah, that's Isaiah the 28th chapter. Hey, prime example. You had this chick, Nicki Minaj, man. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, she was basically kissing Trump's ass, man. Which that union or that bond that goes back to the serpent in the garden. You know, that always been there. You know, that bond between Eve and the serpent, that same spirit that's in these Edomites today.
Always want to be accepted and sell people out.
Yeah, because you had Jake in the uproar. You know, you know, saying about, you know, talking shit about what she did or whatever. Hey, that's Eve for you, man. So-called black woman.
Yeah, it's like
Scripture
says
that
to get ahead, sell your own, sell your soul and sell out the nation.
Yeah.
Sell out your Hashem Yahweh Shai first. Sell your soul and sell out the nation for your own so-called prosperity, you and your loved ones. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like on a small note, on a job, like I was like, yo, I'll do the extra work or whatever it is. All right, whatever. But I'm not your snitch. I'm not telling no one. Right. You know what I mean? I ain't telling on nobody.
Yeah, it can only get you to so far. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But either way, like I said, you know, you're gonna have, especially among our people, you're gonna have sellouts. You're gonna have, you know, people that kiss the so-called white man's ass, right? Thinking that, you know, you doing that, you're gonna be good. You're gonna, you know, the so-called white man's gonna look out for you, but you're totally wrong, man. You're a traitor to your people. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, you know, with this fucking bitch, Nicki Minaj, you know what I'm saying? She basically saying that, you know, she getting the so-called gold card because that's something that Trump is pushing, right? But it's for wealthy migrants that are, you know, they have some type of money. I believe is like a, you know, to join or to get a permanent residency, you have to put up $150,000 and then $1 million of like some type of like a fee. It's basically you paying a fee, or you know what I'm saying? You're paying tribute to the king, which the king of Babylon is Trump. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what about the
shakedown?
Yeah, basically. But what about the poor? Mm-hmm. What about those that can't afford that? Mm-hmm. Which we understand that whole that's all a psyop, because eventually for those that here so-called illegally, eventually they're gonna have it where you want to stay here, you're gonna have to get that chip. Mm-hmm. So that's what it's all coming down to, you know what I mean? So they make it seem like, you know, well, this is how it's gonna happen first, because that's how the devil operates. You know, he deals with you know, basically it's gradualism. Mm-hmm. You know, he's not gonna hit you in the head like, okay, well, you know, at first he's gonna make it seem like, okay, you want to stay here, boom. It's like a shakedown, like you said, 150,000. Eventually, okay, now it's gonna be where you're gonna get the chip in order to stay here, man.
And you don't understand. That's going for those that's not the elect. They're gonna be the majority of these people. They're gonna get it, and they're gonna cave because before that we had to function with the New York ID, state ID, and driver's license, right?
The real ID.
And you gotta have that. My joint didn't expire yet, so I didn't get that the newest one yet. It didn't expire yet. I'm gonna check, but yeah, you gotta use that to function, work everything. You know what I mean? So this RFID, this microchip mark of the beast, you people you're gonna take it.
Yeah.
You're gonna take it because they're gonna make it where you have
No choice.
No way out.
Yeah.
We got Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai,
That's right.
faith, and we believe we're the elect, Lord willing. We say Lord willing, but we believe we're the elect.
That's right.
All right.
Hey, if you could get seek the Lord first. Lord,
And I got something after that.
Because you got to understand, we've been telling you through the Spirit, beginning with our apostles and bishops, elders, and brothers on down, you know, that they were going to start with these celebrities, man, and pushing forward, you know, these devils' agenda, you know, whether it's you know, the MOTB or whatnot. And you had, who was it, Kim Kardashian, they was basically saying that, you know, she, on the internet, you know, this is you know, speculation that she might be the next spokesperson to Neuralink. We know that Neuralink, which is funded by Elon Musk, right? That that is the mark of the beast. All right, the brain chip is the mark of the beast, because the scriptures do say, you know, he's going, the man, you know, this man is going to basically force you to receive that mark. You know what I'm saying? Whether in your hands or on your forehead. All right, so we understand that they're going to use these celebrities because, you know, they have a large following and, you know, they can influence the people. And that's another form of enchantment. Like I was bringing out earlier, you know, how America, you know, promotes sorcery, witchcraft, and Kim Kardashian and her family is high-level witches, man. You know what I'm saying? And their whole thing is to, you know, enchant the people by pushing certain things. You know what I'm saying? And that's why these elites, you know, the ones, you know, they basically go after these celebrities, man. You know, because they're lesser luminaries. You know, when you think about it,
they're stars.
That's right. You know, so it's all, you know, by design. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Right. How do you first seek the kingdom of the Most High? By repenting, man. Okay? You got to repent of your ways, man. Seek the Lord while He may be found through His prophets, man. You know? Because whatever you yearn for in this society, you know, you got to put that to the side, because we got to understand this is not our rest. Eventually, you know, we put the Heavenly Father, His Son first. We're going to receive that, man, in a hundredfold. That's what He told the Apostle Peter, right? That, you know, Apostle Peter asked him, you know, what shall we receive, man? Us basically denying the world, denying the things of this world, denying, you know, certain things of families, you know, loved ones, family, children, you know, we're going to receive a hundredfold. That's what the Lord told Peter, right? You know, so we got to have that mindset, because guess what? We're in a time where the Lord is going to restore the kingdom onto Israel, man. He's going to restore the kingdom back to Israel, man. So right now we're seeing the downfall of America happening right before our eyes, man. You know? So what's next? See, that's what it says in if you could get that in
What was that movie? It was talking. It was showing like Trump when he was younger. I guess when he was 40. I don't know the movie, but it was an actor playing him, and he was like, even when I know I'm at a loss, I still put up a front, like I'm winning or something like that. So he know this place is out of here.
Yeah. I mean, these Edomites, they do know this place is out of here because one, they got a thing called the doomsday clock, right? And what they said is 85 seconds to midnight. So basically, they know their time is up. That's why Scripture says he's gonna come down and have a great wrath because he knows he has but a short time. All right. I wanted what's that? Psalms 2:1.
All right. I got Matthew 16,
Why
26 too.
Why did the heathens rage?
I got you.
You know, because these heathens, right? These other nations, they really believe that they're gonna be the next upcoming rulers, man, of the planet Earth. You know. He was on Psalms 2:1.
Yeah, where is? That's Psalms 2:1. Got you. This is Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?
Right. Why do the heathens rage and the people imagine a vain thing? You know what I'm saying? They really think that they're going to be the next upcoming rulers. I'm talking about the Russians, you know, the Chinese, the North Koreans, you know, so on and so forth, man. These other nations, that's what they're fighting for. They're fighting for power, all right? Because they know that America is at its end. They seeing this place crumbling, okay? But that's a vain thing that they're imagining, that they're going to be the next rulers to rule after America goes down, okay? They don't know that it's going to be, you know, the Lord. This is going to be the Lord's kingdom, who the world even calls Jesus, right? Which his name is Yahweh Shai. That's his true name, okay? Which is a so-called black man, all right? Along with his people, the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, they're going to be the next upcoming rulers on the planet Earth. See, that's what people don't understand. They think that, you know, it's going to be, you know, the Russians, when the Russians take out America. No, that's not the case, man.
Yeah.
That's going fulfill, you know, the promise of what the Lord promised our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know, that the kingdom is going to be established on the earth, man. You know. But first, it starts within you. It starts within us, the ones of the hopeful elect.
Kingdom of heaven,
you know,
is within you.
That's right. That's right.
This is Psalms 2:2. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did, man. You know, through slavery, you know, Esau, Edom, so-called white man. All right, that's what they did. They destroyed us as a people, as a whole. Okay, which was prophesied anyway for us to go into slavery. All right, for us to lose our heritage, man. That's what the Lord said in Jeremiah. Okay, that He would discontinue us from our heritage, from us knowing that we're Israelites. Now, in these latter days, the Lord has awakened, you know, us through the Holy Spirit, giving us that breath. Okay, when you read Ezekiel the 37th chapter, you know what I'm saying, breathing that breath in the dry bones. You know what I'm saying. Now we're able to call on the true name of our Lord. Okay, you got guys saying that we don't know the name. All right, that the name of the Lord, you could basically call him anything. That's not the case, man. Scripture says the elect shall praise his holy name. Okay, so we know the name of the Father is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. Okay.
I'm gonna drop it. Or keep going.
No, you can drop that.
Okay.
What I said.
I got something.
You got something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I wanted Jeremiah 50 and 18.
Okay, I got Jeremiah 50 chapter. I was gonna go to 18. This is Jeremiah 50 and 18. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel.
The sound. What's it? The sound.
Let me make sure I got
Yeah,
it right.
22. Slap. 22.
This is Jeremiah 50 and 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction.
Right. That sound of battle is talking about what? World War III, man. That's the time we're in. Okay, the beginning stages of World War III. Okay, that's why you got right now, you know, tension in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying, between Israel, Iran and America. You know what I mean? Ukraine and Russia, Taiwan and China. You know, that's the Lord mustering the host to the battle.
Yeah.
All right, so the sound of the war drums are being sounded, man. Okay, Scripture says in Revelation, the 11th chapter, the second woe is past and the third woe cometh quickly.
Yeah.
The second woe was talking about World War II, which was from 1939 to 1945, and the third woe, which is World War III, is approaching. Okay, that's what we're seeing right now, the beginning stages.
Yeah, because the pretty much the gloves is off. Any time these nations could pop off, because NATO done violated the agreement numerous times with Russia by being in their neighboring territories. They broke NATO, which is part of NATO. They broke the agreement of staying away from Russia's territories and neighboring lands.
Right, and then, you know, also that's causing animosity between the NATO allies and the European allies, you know, because of this whole Greenland situation. You know, with America's trying to own Greenland. You know what I'm saying? And that right there is also prophecy. You know, the beast shall hate the whore. The beast being NATO and the EU, okay, and the whore being America. And eventually, the beast is going to shoot missiles and burn America with fire. That's prophesied in the Bible, man. So what we're seeing right now is the you know, even though that's how we know that it's the Spirit of the Lord, because just 2 weeks ago they was ready to go at it, man, over this whole Greenland situation, but now things die down because according to prophecy, the mark of the beast has to be implemented first, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why war cannot, it can't go forward yet until the prophecy of the mark of the beast is established on the earth. You know what I'm saying? But still, we understand prophecy. We understand that something is going to happen where Trump, and we understand that Trump, he's that dude, man. He's basically that dude that's going to set up and bring forward World War III, man. All right, because this guy is very cocky, very proud, arrogant, especially towards the European nations, man. And that's the scripture that says, his look was more stout than his fellows. This man, he's, when he was over there in Davos, he's talking shit about, the Prime Minister of Canada. You know what I mean? Just talking shit, man. Saying that we don't need NATO. NATO, if it wasn't for the U.S., there'll be no NATO, which is true. But come on, that's your allies, man. You see what I'm saying? So this guy is just, he's pushing America into a corner where, they eventually they're gonna be surrounded, man. Yeah. All right, and that's how
he moving like a gangster and strategic. I told a gangster's groomed him. Roy Cohen, mafia type lawyer nigga. Also, you know, he had start when back before he was president years ago. He had hired ex FBI niggas to show them, cause you know mafia was gonna try to like muscle him. You know what I mean? Extort him, like even though he did business with him.
Yeah,
You know?
he's setting himself up as like a dictator. You know what I'm saying? And this whole board of peace thing that he's pushing, that's gonna excel after his presidency. You know what I'm saying? If you know America lasts that long, which I don't see nobody coming in after this man anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that whole board of peace is like, you know what I'm saying? It's like an oxymoron because here it is. This man is promoting war. You know what I'm saying? If you're you know trying to gather nations for world peace, but here it is. You set up 6 warships out there to Iran. That's aggression, and you showing the aggression, you know, to basically you know get things popping, and you got Putin in the Trump, you know, in the cut, like you know, basically saying, listen, if America attacks Iran, that's going to set off World War III automatically. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand that, you know, Iran ain't like Venezuela. Okay, keep reading.
Yeah, this man's a hypocrite. Cause you can't, you don't allow certain people in your water space, maritime, or in your your airspace.
That's right. That's showing a form of aggression, man.
Yeah.
You're talking about peace, but the scripture says when they shall say peace and safety, then what? Sudden destruction.
I'll read that verse again. Jeremiah 15:22. A sound of battle is in the land. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction.
Of great destruction, because what? America will be destroyed, man, in this upcoming war. See, you know, World War III is not going to be fought like any other war, okay? You know, it's going to start off with, you know, boots on the ground, and eventually it's going to go nuclear. But out of it, America will be destroyed along with the state of Israel. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be taken out. They're going to be utterly destroyed, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Yeah. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and
Listen,
broken?
how is the hammer of the whole earth, man? That's speaking about America, man. Because what America does, you know, it goes around bullying all these different nations, man, taking their resources, you know. Here it is, they're trying to go in the take over ownership of Greenland, okay, which Greenland was already owned by Denmark, okay. You know, then you got you see what they did over there in Venezuela. They basically took took your boy out. You know what I'm saying? Maduro took him out of there and brought him here to America on charges, man, on drug trafficking charges, man. You know what I'm saying? You know,
so by law.
Yeah, so you know, basically now they're running Venezuela, man. Then they threaten to talking about they're going to go over there to take over Cuba, taking over Colombia. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the hammer of the whole earth, man. America's that bully, but eventually, just like the bully's gonna have his day where eventually he's gonna be knocked the fuck out, man. The bully's gonna get knocked the fuck out, and he's gonna get jumped. You know what I'm saying? You know, by these different nations, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?
That's right.
This Babylon
here. Let's talk about modern day Babylon, man. All right. You know, which is America. It's gonna be laid waste, desolated. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, because America is gonna lose the battle in World War III.
Yeah.
That's according to the Bible prophecy. You know? So there's no getting around that. So showing you that these presidents, you know, you know, they're basically, you know, the Lord basically is working on the minds of these leaders. All right, so-called President Trump, right, King of Babylon. He doesn't understand, you know, that he's gonna be the demise of America. The way he's going, you know, he's basically going to be the one to bring in World War III to eventually have this place nuked. Okay? He don't understand that, man, because that's the Lord working on the minds. He got the angels working on the minds of these leaders, man. Okay, you know, that's the time we're in as far as, you know, Trump is not running nothing, man. Okay,
Yeah.
he's following orders.
He's a lieutenant.
Yeah, he's following orders, man.
He's a lieutenant, you know. That's why you always hear people say, I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Listen, you everyone works for someone else, man.
That's right.
You know? Everyone works for someone else.
That's right, man. You know?
You know? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and yeah, you the Lord laid a snare for you because the Lord is the one controlling you.
That's it.
The Lord is controlling everyone.
That's right.
You know what I mean? The Lord control you to be a crash dummy. You know what I mean?
Very so. Yep. That's right.
You know what I mean? That's what you was made to be that. You know?
That's why I said he don't know what he's doing. Like it's really the Lord that got him set up to basically, you know, set him up in a trap to basically have this place destroyed. You know?
You don't know, understand, your whole steps was already predetermined. And the Lord had just play it all the way out. If you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like every little step from when you started walking and before then, from when you taking your first step, all the way to when that nuclear fire hit your ass. You know, it was already there.
Yep. That's why the scripture says man's going is of the Lord.
Yeah.
How then the man will understand his own way? You know, we all, you know, this is the Lord's movie. We're all doing our part. You know what I'm saying? In this movie of life, man. You know, hoping that we're of the elect and we're doing what the Lord, you know, called us to do, man. All right, and we endure to the very end.
Yeah, that's what the scripture said. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. You did. You striving against Yahweh Shem Yahushai and against his men.
That's right.
You know?
That's right, brother. Hey, I got something real quick, because we mentioned that. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, and all right, 47 in verse 9. Right? It says, "But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day: the loss of children and widowhood."
The loss of children, widowhood. You know, because it's gonna be a lot of women, their husband and men gonna
Salaki, brother. Go ahead, make your point. But I wanted to start up at verse 7.
Oh, go.
Verse 7. Come. I'm gonna start at verse 7. It says, Isaiah chapter 47, verse 7. "And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever."
Yeah, the so-called white man in America said there'd be a lady forever because this place has not had no foreign invaders. This place has not had bombs dropped on this place. All right? So the people are spoiled, have a false sense of confidence, thinking that their security is so tight. They don't understand.
Yeah, that's that pride.
That pride was going to lead to their fall.
That's right.
All right, I see the lady forever. That's a bold statement, and the people believe that. When we bring out the Lord's word on the highways and the byways, and people hear it, they look at us like we're crazy. Like what? Like, how can that happen? We're in the greatest country on the planet. Yeah. We're in the so-called wealthiest country on the planet. Yeah. They believe that.
Yeah, but people live poor here. You know what I'm saying? You got homelessness at a high rate. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Why? Because at one time, this place was like a golden cup in the Lord's hand. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could come over here and so-called live that American dream. Mm-hmm. But now America is likened on to a third world country.
Yeah. How you gonna have this supposed to be like the wealthiest city in the country? In New York City, you got homeless. You got homeless in the nation's capital.
Yeah.
You got people living in tents. You know what I mean? Last time I was out there in D.C., I don't know if it changed or not, but yo, you know what I mean? That was a couple of years back.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No jobs. You can't get no jobs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Fucking shit. People. That's why you got these people that come over here, so-called migrants. They come and they see this place, and they're like, shit.
Yeah.
All that. We just stayed over there.
The fucking nation's capital. Like that's like which part over there Union Station. That sort of looks like Grand Central here. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep. So fucked up, right? It says, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart.
You didn't lay that to your mind, like, yo, this place has a set time to be destroyed, that the Lord is in control of everything. Free will doesn't exist. Your ass got an expiration date. Your country has an expiration date.
It says, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
You remember your latter end with all the conquering and all what you have done, speaking highly against Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the Lord's people, taking his identity, restructuring things, doing away with the laws, and the list goes on. You didn't take into consideration that you offended Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that there is a penalty for that.
Yeah, defacing the Lord. Basically, you know, iconoclasm, you know, putting up your image as the Lord and Savior, man.
Yeah.
You know, you got to pay for that, Esau. That's blasphemy.
Making lies truth.
Yep. It says, therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures.
You're given in the pleasures. You do your heart's desire with offending Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, your witchcraft, your once again, more your witchcraft, your holidays, your feast days. Mm-hmm. I mean, all these deities you worship, that's your pleasure. Anything you do everything against the scriptures, man.
Yeah, it's Satan.
Yeah.
It says that dwellest carelessly.
You dwell careless because you don't take these things in consideration. You destroy the air, the water, the people's mind, the Lord's people. You living careless, man. You also weaponize and you weaponize a lot of people that's gonna go against you, and you lend aid, inspire them at the same time when you careless because you don't weaponize your enemy. Yep. Stupid. Exactly. They laid a snare for they that took thy bread, your weapons, your training, your money, your monetary gain, everything.
It said, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yeah, you saying that you the top power. There's no one. You trying to be like Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Well, how is they trying to do that? Your high monuments, your high skyscrapers, your satellites, you're spying in on people. You want to chip everybody. You want to know what people's thinking, what they're doing, see people. You want to be like the Most High, the angels.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once again, you're living above your station.
It says, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. From generation to generation, yeah, you think your house is going to continue and that you're not going to be conquered. But Yahweh Shai is that conquering lion that's going to come with the angels. You know, I don't care how much junk you put up out there. I don't care how many probes you sending around everywhere. That shit, the Lord going to get rid of all that space junk up out there. You know what I mean? All that junk going to get burnt up.
Yeah, that's that besom, that besom of destruction, that cleanser. You know, because this world has to be cleansed, man, and the only way it's gonna be cleansed is by fire, man.
Yeah.
You know? So it says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day.
In one day, 1 hour, America gonna be destroyed.
That's right. It says the loss of children and widowhood.
Yeah, a lot of y'all gonna be destroyed. Y'all gonna be destroyed in this upcoming war. When the Lord returns, y'all gonna be taken down.
It said terrors shall befall them on every side.
Well, what else gonna happen? Cause the Lord gonna allow you to destroy a lot of the world's population with just beginning of your new world order. The Lord gonna disrupt it. All right, a lot of things gonna happen. The Lord gonna allow, and that's also condemning you in itself. The ultimate straw is you enforcing that chip.
It says, they shall come upon thee in their perfection.
In your perfection. All right, when you about to fill your belly.
That's right.
That's it. All right, time's up. Goodbye.
Yep. It says, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments.
Yeah, your enchantments, your warlocks, your witches. All right? On a small level, your talisman, that money. That money, that debt, that money has a lot of symbology to it.
Yeah.
It's used as a lot of things. That witchcraft, that money is debt, number one. It's not real money. You got the witchcraft as fiat, right? It's put out of thin air. It's sorcery, all right?
Magic.
It's considered on an energy spectrum as electricity. You know what I mean? That's advanced economics. There's so much going on with this devil, man.
Yeah, that's right. And how much more when this thing go digital?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as like, you can't even hardly keep up the amount of money you have in your account. So just imagine when it's on, a digital with, a bunch of ones and zeros, man.
Yeah.
How you gonna keep up with your money then? You know what I'm saying? But it just shows you that this devil, he has to be stopped, man.
Too many things moving at once, man. That's why a lot of us don't even like direct deposit on a job, man. You want to have a sense of control, but they're making it weird. They fading away with a lot of stuff where you gotta have direct deposit soon. You know what I mean? And then this chip to make it ultimate. You know what I mean? You just an ultimate slave, man.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
It's wicked.
I got something. This is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1. It says, go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
All you so-called wealthy and you rich, man, weep and howl. You gonna be brought low. You're gonna be brought low. They're gonna it doesn't matter what you have. They're gonna cut off all the goodies, all the flow of resources. They're gonna snatch what you have. Them executive orders, they not letting no one look, man, if you're in a certain level, elite, your shit getting confiscated.
Yeah. And that's why they want you so you American people, really people in general, you know what I'm saying, under this system, they want you to solely depend on the government. That's why they want to push that UBI, Universal Basic Income, to have you, just solely dependent on them. Mm-hmm. And these people, you know what I'm saying, they want it so because, when it was during the time of the pandemic, we seen it. We seen how people would, worried about if they was gonna get a stimulus check or, you know what I'm saying, just to get certain when you got that unemployment check, they would add in certain extra money. You know what I mean, during the pandemic, so people were comfortable. But see, that was a trap. That was a snare. That was for you to rely on this system, on this government. So when they do take it away from you, then they say, all right, you want to continue to get these benefits. Hey, you got to get this. You got to get the chip now. You know what I'm saying? And so it's all gradualism. That's how the devil operates, man. It's like he feeds you with something, takes it away, and then get you caught up in a bigger trap. You know what I mean? So we understand that eventually, when this chip is made mandatory, a lot of you Israelites, you know what I'm saying, that you depend on your SNAP, you depend on Medicaid and things like that. It's not going to be any problem for you to receive that.
Look. These people say it's classical conditioning, man.
Yeah.
It was a psychologist, Ivan Pavlov. He ring the bell. He have a steak for the dogs. Ring the bell. Dogs salivating, the steak right there. Boom, 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 boom. Kept doing it. Then after a while, he ring the bell. The steaks, this dogs is already salivating because they know the steaks is there. He plays the same game on a larger level, man. It's called classical conditioning.
Yeah. Yep. All right. It says, verse 2, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten.
Yeah, your riches corrupted. Your riches, they are corrupted because it's a debt-based system.
Right.
You know what I mean? What type of shit is that when a lot of time they promote you going into debt. It's constantly you're borrowing. Because this system is designed to implode in itself economically. You know what I mean? It's debt. You know, so you basically you gotta always be flipping. You gotta always be flipping. It's debt. That's why, man. It's inflation.
Yeah. Yep. And when you understand like debt in itself, that's why when you get credit cards and they see that you have a certain debt, and you have more credit cards open, you know what I'm saying, and you're paying on this amount of credit cards, then your credit score go up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if you have like one, two credit cards, then it probably just stay the same. You know what I mean? But when you have 10, 15 credit cards and you're paying on them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how the shit is, man.
And then on a other thing too, with these so-called wealthy people, I'm not talking about the elite banking families, the lesser niggas like billionaires,
right.
30 billion, 100 million, 300, 400 million. It's I'm gonna issue you a line of credit. It might be 50 million, 100 million, 300 million. Like when you watch the movie Limitless. Because they could pull a plug when your eyes get out of line.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get out of line. Something could happen. We got to seize this. There's a hold on this.
Yeah, your money is not your money because especially if you have your money in the bank, your money is being loaned to somebody else for a house or, you know what I'm saying? Or, whatever. It's your money is not your money. That's why if you want to take your money out, then you got to go to all type of different procedures on getting your own money out.
Y'all illiquid. You're not liquid. Liquid is readily available into cash or whatever. To where you could move. Right. But these dudes is not liquid.
That's right. It says verse 3, it says your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you.
Gold is cankered and rust. Gold and silver don't rust, so that's showing your monetary system is corrupted and fraudulent, and it's going to be a witness against you. All this shit is debt. It's an illusion. Your real estate assets, that's a transfer of airspace, man. That's all it is transfer of airspace. You know what I mean? These buildings and upkeep, they corrode real fast. You need people up in there checking out the integrity of the building, keeping it up. You know what I mean?
That's right. It says, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
Yeah, because you've been doing shit fraudulently. Taking resources from others' lands, getting people in scams with your real estate, keeping people in debt, people losing their homes over nothing.
Yep.
You know, if thou hast nothing to pay, why remove thy bed from under thee?
That's right.
You know what I mean? But you so-called white people, you Caucasians, and you elites and those that's in league with them, y'all thieves.
That's right.
And I'm talking about the heathens. 2/3 of our people, you deserve what you got coming to you. That's it.
I got some. This is Amos chapter 9, verse 13. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper.
The plowman is the nation of Israel. That's Jake's. And the reaper is a so-called white man, all right? Because we are basically serfs on this side right now. I'm a boss.
You're a boss.
You're a boss. No, you are just a higher employee. You're basically your supervisor, and then you have supervisors and managers over that supervisor, man. You're just a higher level servant. That's it. You know.
That's right. It says, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt.
Yep, all these lesser governments and countries, and the thing is, you think you're a boss and you're not, because you gotta get permission. Bosses shouldn't have to get permission to do this and do that.
That's right.
You gotta get permission even with your own money. Certain shit you can't buy, even if you have the money, you gotta be accepted. You gotta be accepted in the club. Certain cars and certain shit, certain watches, things you can't buy, and then you gotta get a starter kit. Even get this first, get that first. You gotta be accepted in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You gotta be a part of that club.
Yeah.
That 1%.
What shit is that? All money ain't good money. All money ain't not accepted.
That's right. That's right.
You know?
Yep. It says, and I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel.
Meaning we ain't going to captivity no more. We're going to be relieved of active duty, and the Lord is going to reverse everything, and you nations are going to serve Yahweh Shai under the ranks of the nation of Israel. All right?
It said, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof.
Yeah, because Israel going to be rebuilt. The world will be Eden again. And that God in Israel will be rebuilt.
Yeah, you got this guy, what's this dude name? He married to one of Trump's daughters.
Oh, I forgot that heathen.
What's that dude name, man?
Because
he's trying to build
the one that's married to Ivanka?
One of them, yeah, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to build Kushner. What's the dude name? His name is Kushner.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to build a new Gaza, right? Out there in in the land of Israel. But they're trying to make it as smart cities, man. You know what I'm saying? Out there in Palestine, they're trying to make it as a smart 15-minute smart cities, man.
Yeah.
But what the Lord said, they shall build, but I would throw that.
Yeah, because there's another land out there where they trying to make a 100-mile city somewhere, in one of them desert lands out there. I don't know how true that is.
Right. But this time they built what this is talking about is the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when they build up our kingdom, just like how we build up this kingdom, this present kingdom, they're gonna build up our kingdom, which is gonna be an everlasting kingdom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it says, and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them.
Yeah, our place, the kingdom of heaven, on earth is going to mirror the spiritual realm, all right?
Yep.
The earth is going to be beautified like it once was. It's going to get its glow back. It's going to get its full strength back, all right?
That's right.
It's going. We already know it's going to happen. It's going to get jump started because so-called white man has been draining the life out of this planet, man.
Yeah, that's why the Lord said He's going to destroy them that destroyed the earth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you heathens, you're not going to have a part in our kingdom, all right? The only part you're going to play is you're going to be slaves, all right, to the nation of Israel. That's the only part you're going to play in the kingdom of heaven. As far as the blessings, no, you're not going to receive none of the blessings, man. You're not going to be joint heirs with our Lord, all right? Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to be basically in subjection. Okay, just like how we was in subjection unto you, other nations, you're gonna be in subjection to the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we gotta make that clear, man, because you got a guy saying that the heathens, you know, they're gonna have part in our blessing, man. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not gonna have part in our blessings. Right now, we're receiving the curses. Yeah. While you know. I mean, you other nations, you receive the blessing, but you know, really Esau, Edom, this is his kingdom. This is his, you know, world. All right, the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked, so they're gonna do what the wicked do. You know what I mean? But in the kingdom to come, you know, that's gonna be our blessing, our rest.
They ain't gonna receive her the penny. They gonna see the penny. They gonna see the nation of Israel shining. They're not getting that. And then after they serve their slavery, not the nation of Edom, these other nations, they're going to have little lands and they're going to get a little something, not what we have, and they're going to have to pay tribute.
Mm-hmm. I got something. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 2, verse 28. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee.
They're going to envy but do nothing. The nation, we're going to have Yahushua there. We got the angels overlooking the city, and we're going to have spiritual power.
That's right. We're going to be as gods on the planet Earth, man.
Yeah. We're going to be indestructible.
But think about it. They hate us now, man. They envy us now and hate us now. How much more in our kingdom?
They play every game to keep us. They play every game to keep us down, and they get mad when they see you not doing dumb shit. When you doing your day-to-day, being constructive, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You working, you not in the bullshit. They envy you even more. They don't say it, but you gotta be able to catch it. Your spirit gotta be in tune to catch it. You gotta understand the fake smile, the genuine smile, and the envy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know? But our people are asleep. They busy, who this nigga on my block? They you busy trying to outdo Jake. You know? But see, they don't listen when we say it. When Mike Epps said, yo, Jake only stunt on, and when he said, black people only stunt on black people. You can't stunt. You can't take it to these other nations.
Right.
We've been saying that.
That's right. That's it. Exactly. Because why Jake want to be a part of something. Jake want to feel like, you know, he's doing something in the eyes of your fellow brother, man. But you ain't doing shit, man. You ain't doing nothing. All you're doing is feeding into you know, the beliefs of the Esau, man. Mm-hmm. You're basically doing what the Edomites would do, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why Yahushua said, you are as your father, the devil. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of you are just taking on the characteristics of Satan, of Esau, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is Sirach chapter 10, verse 31. It said, he that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches?
He that's honored in poverty, how much more riches? We have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures. You know what I mean? Honored in poverty, and then this is part of we being made into silver and gold, because the impurities we catch a fire, and Lord willing, keeping our integrity intact. All right, we're honored because we're in a battle right now, man.
Right.
We're in a battle. This is not our house. America's not our house. This is not our time.
Right.
It's not our time.
Yeah, we're literally just passing through this place, man.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we were brought over here as a form of punishment for our disobedience towards the Heavenly Father. You know, this is not a thing of us trying to be, you know, the next such and such or whatever. You know, we're not here to live it up. Okay, that's one thing that Jake failed to understand. They don't understand that this is why we are in this predicament, man, because of what we did.
We can't be established now. You're gonna, number one, you have family trying to get you if you have wealth. Females trying to get you, ambulance chasers. You know what I mean?
You gotta understand we're under curses.
Yeah.
That's for one. We're under curses. Okay? So it don't matter how much riches or fame you have in this society, you're still under the curses, man. All right? That's just what it is as being an Israelite. You know? So that's what Jake don't understand. They think that because all you gotta do is work hard and do this, do that, no. A lot of that stuff, vote. Vote. You know what I mean? No, that shit don't matter, bro. Because at the end of the day, you can do whatever you can do to try to make it here, and you're gonna bound to fail. Because that's how the Lord set it up. Unless you sell out, and even when you sell out, you still under the curses. Still lose. You know what I mean? So it says because what's gonna come with it? You know, death. All right? Because why? You know, you gain the whole world, but yet you lose your soul. You know? So let me read on. It says, he that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches, right? Because you got Jake, you know, even at Jake at his lowest, Jake is still being honored here in this society because, you know, we're the salt of the earth. You know, we're the trendsetters. Okay? The world looks to us. How much more in our kingdom? You know what I'm saying? When we're in our glory, right? It says, and he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? So Esau is the perfect example of that. He's dishonorable in riches, man. All right? We was just going into how, you know, the whole fiat currency, his whole, you know, Babylonian money magic, how he creates money out of thin air, you know, and oppress the people, you know what I'm saying, with the IMF and, you know, different things like that, right? How much more he's going to be in poverty, man. This man is going to really be shiesty. He's shiesty now in his glory, and he got the riches and the fame and all that, right? He's got the wealth, you know, but yet, how much more in poverty, man?
Yeah.
He's going to be, that dude is going to be shit. You know what I'm saying? When he's basically at the bottom, ain't no telling what this devil is going to do, man. But we're going to be there to correct him because we're going to have spiritual powers to basically put this man in, you know, in his place. We're going to be able to put him to death, bring him back. You know what I mean? We're going to put hell on you devils, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So meditate terror.
That's right.
Because the so-called white man, he meditates his New World Order. He's constantly trying to do his plans to bring you to destroy the nation of Israel and enslave the rest. All right, and he ain't gonna sleep unless he accomplishes something on one of his goals.
Oh, yeah.
He has continual goals every day to fulfill.
That's right.
I remember the dude, I was looking at something, the dude Steve Jobs and the other dude from Shark Tank, he was saying Steve Jobs was basically on signal mode, meaning
Signal mode.
signal, I forgot what the word he used for it, like he always trying to fulfill a task throughout the day, and everything else is noise. Everything else is noise. It can't be interrupted. They gotta move away from it. They always on go mode to fulfill that task. You know what I mean? And the task is their New World Order and the destruction of the nation of Israel. They're always on that mode, man. Anything else is noise.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
I gotta say.
And the dude Elon, he was like, he was like the dude from Shark Tank was like, you know, Elon, he don't deal with the noise. It gotta be about, and we know he trying to bring that chick and all that bullshit. So everything else is a distraction. You know what I mean? He said how he used to, his whole thing was, he was working like what, 20-something hours a day, barely getting any sleep.
Yeah, but when you go into the whole history with Elon Musk, you know, it goes back to his grandfather, really. You know, his grandfather, he was already, you know, had the idea of pushing technocracy. If you read up and do your research on Elon Musk, his grandfather, so they already been, you know, this, hey, this thing has, I'm telling you, the rabbit hole goes deep.
Yeah.
When it goes down to these people that, when you see certain people in power right now and set up, man, the rabbit hole goes deep, man. They're all plugged in, man.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow. You know what I'm saying?
They have to do what they're groomed to do, even when they're children.
Yeah.
Yo, do this, do that. They automatically, you know what I mean? They put in position. Not Jake, not like Jake's. They have their kid put them in front of the TV, or you know what I mean? Rush them off to the daycare shit. Yo, they already grooming them and have them to do this, to do that.
Right.
And if they don't, you have the Princess Diana situations happening. You know what I mean? Because they ain't following protocol.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. I got some. This is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16. It says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief."
Yeah, they don't sleep unless they have done mischief. They gotta fulfill that goal day in and day out. Every step forward, every day, the task gotta get done. Like you have tasks on your job, you gotta do. Or you might have to let the supervisor know I'm behind, or this or that. Follow the schedule. They follow the schedule to their wicked plans. They can't function unless they've done that evil for throughout the day.
It says, read it again. It says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall."
And that doesn't sound like on a higher level that the Khazars, and then the other ones that got their marching orders down the ranks, they gotta cause some to fall.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. That's right.
You know?
And that's why, you know, when they do things, they do it with the intention of, all right, it ain't like they just do it, just, you know what I mean, it took them years upon years to strategize and plan certain things out. Just like, you know, the attacks on, you know, 9/11 and all that been planned out. You know what I mean? Everything that these devils do, you know, matter of fact, when you read on what's that?
They're moving 12 steps ahead or whatever.
Right. Damn.
It's like in chess, you castle off to protect the king and the queen. You controlling the center of the board. You got the center of the board. You could pretty much win the game.
Right.
It's a higher level. So they always moving strategic like that. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can get it. I think it's in
They always moving steps ahead, man.
Proverbs.
There's only people in the world don't get what the fuck is going on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They don't get what's going on. You know what I mean? Because if a motherfucker don't got no flashy shit on or whatever, they don't want to hear what he has to say. But there's a lot of stupid motherfuckers that got so-called money. A lot of idiots. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, man, they table is a snare. They was meant to be misled. And they shall know it for by death through pain, man. Then they're going to get it on the other side. You know? Because folly is set in great dignity. You know, constantly got bombarded with entertainment. You know, you look around the world. Every time you're doing your day-to-day, motherfuckers is just walking like this. Yeah. Sleep, walking on their phone, crossing the street. You know what I mean? Crossing the street, motherfuckers not paying attention.
Yep.
They sleep, go on the train, look at,
which is all distraction. That's what they want you to be distracted by social media. You know what I'm saying? Entertainment, basketball, football, sports. You know, rap. That's all distraction, man. Bread and circuses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I got son. This is Psalms 64, and I'm gonna start at verse 5. It says, "They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of lying sneers privily."
They lay snares. Everything their schemes are brought to bring their new world order, the devices, their schemes, their plans. Yep. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. The Lord going to disrupt their new world order plans. Listen, they lay all kind of snares, man. The legislation, certain wars. Oh, you got it. All of these things, gonna bring. It's like when it's fully known, World War III or whatever chaos. That's an excuse to lock the country down. That's an excuse to chip everybody. Monetary and war going on. Terrorist acts taking place. Them killing hundreds of people, thousands of people, and blaming it on a so-called terrorist group for you to give away your so-called rights. These are all plans, man. You know what I mean?
Yep. It says they commune of laying snares privily. They say, "Who shall see them?"
Yeah, they meet in secret under ice caps, polar ice caps, places where it can't be bugged. But the Lord sees things. The angel sees things. The angels got X-ray vision, man. They can see through the damn world, through everything. You can't hide. You can't hide from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Right. And then you can't hide from the men of the Lord, because Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai blessed us with a hierarchy with apostles, bishops, elders, and show us things so we know what's going on.
Right.
All right?
Eyes out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you see in the dark, we see in the dark too.
That's right. It says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search.
Yeah, that's right. They look, man, they search everything to see if things is on point with the scriptures. They search out ways to enslave and destroy.
Right. And they also getting revelations from on the left hand side from Satan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they look, watch the men of the Lord. They watch the apostles, the bishops down the rank. Mm-hmm. All right? It
says, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Yeah, their mind is deep. Look, man, they on it to bring about their newer order or to prolong their rulership and try to disrupt prophecies. They look for loopholes.
Definitely, man.
they also pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. They want the birthright to be restored. They complain, why is this your people? Forsake them, let us rule. Look what they're doing.
Yeah, accuse of thy brethren.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Esau, man. You know, starting with the top elites on down, man. Definitely. You know? Because that's one thing, they're trying to get that birthright back. Which it wasn't intended for them to get in the first place. You know? It was really meant for the nation of Israel, Jacob, you know, and his descendants to receive that blessing. That's why this devil's all mad, man. Because he know he's fucked, man. The Most High is against him, you know. It says, the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded.
That's right. And so, listen, man, the Lord's Spirit going to be on them thermonuclear missiles, all right? The Lord going to shoot concentrated fire. I know for people that can't imagine that, but yeah, the Lord is going to be on the main ship, standing on the main ship, the chariot, which people call UFOs. He's going to shoot concentrated fire. That fire going to have the same effect as a nuclear fire.
That's right.
All right? You don't believe it, but the top elite of the military believes it. And they're scared to death. They're scared to death. They keep a straight face. I know Trump shit himself probably every other day. You know what I mean? And he's good. He keeping a straight face, poker face. You know what I mean? He probably even tell his family what's going on with this shit. He probably ain't not shit. He probably ain't tell it shit to them because they're gonna be destroyed. But he probably ain't even let them know, like, damn, like, yo, yeah, this place out of here. You know what I mean? You know? Shit. Hey man. Hey, look, if we was probably one of them, we probably wouldn't tell either. We probably would we just let them die, you know what I mean?
Because the scriptures do mention it. We just read it, and they knew they consider their latter end. You know, they will understand that, you know, they will be eventually taken down and going into slavery. So they're gonna keep that lie going, of course. They're gonna keep that lie going that they're the real Jews of the Bible. You know, they're the real people of the Lord, right? But everybody's waking up to these Khazars, man. These Amalekites, man.
Yeah.
They're not the people, man. I seen something earlier on YouTube, man, going into them damn Amalekites, man. You know how basically here in New York, upstate, is a place called Kyrie's Joel. It's a basically it's an all Hasidic Jew, whatever. You know, it's like a compound with just nothing but rats over there, right?
Oh shit.
And the majority of them don't work. They all living off of, you know, welfare. You know what I'm saying? But guess who's paying for that? You know what I mean? The people, the you know, the American citizens, they're paying for them to live like that where they ain't gotta work. You know what I'm saying? They just live off of welfare, man.
Yeah.
All right, and they having all these kids. I think like each family had about like 7 to 15 kids or whatever, and they all getting paid and taken care of by the government, man.
It's a lot.
You know, but my point is I brought that out because they always want to put the you know, they want to put the picture on Jake, saying Jake is the ones that predominantly, you know, depend on welfare and food stamps and all that shit and living off the government, when it's these damn small hats, man. You know? So yeah, you know, these damn Amalekites, man, they're imposters, man. You know, they're not the people of the Lord, all right? And people know that. People know that. Even, who was it, Arthur Koestler, you know what I'm saying?
13 Tribe.
13 Tribe, he wrote a book on that. Because he understood that if they were, you know, the people of the Lord, then they will be the 13th tribe, which is no 13 tribes. There's only 12 tribes, man. You know what I'm saying? So they're basically adding they're adding themselves as being the people of the Lord, which
Yeah.
they're not.
Yeah, you damn identity theft, man.
Yep.
That's fraud. That's fraud, yo.
Yeah. The Lord,
That's a federal crime, man. That's a spiritual crime against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's a treasonous crime against Yahweh Shem Yahushua doing shit like that.
that's it, man. You know, and said a bastard shall dwell in Ashland.
And you are bastards because you don't have the Most High is not, you're not adopted. The Most High don't consider you a son. All right, you're bastards.
That's right, man.
The Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua don't consider you, and that's why spiritually these nations hate us. In their spirit, they know that they lifeless, man.
That's right.
They're lifeless in their spirit, yo.
Yeah, they're dead.
You're dead, man.
They're dead.
Look at, like, yo, a lot of them, like, a lot of they women, they just got a pretty face, but they, like, you can see they soulless, man.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, it's emptiness in them, man. They empty, dry, bitter.
I got it. I got something. This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 21. And I will give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. That's talking about the land of Israel, man. That's exactly what they're doing. You know, between these so-called these Jews, these small hats, and them Palestinians. They're fighting over land that don't belong to neither one of them, and they're actually polluting the land. You know what I'm saying? To the point where our land is like basically war torn zone, man. You know, Israel is just destroyed, man. Fucked up, man. You know what I mean? Rubbles and that shit looked like the Bronx in the 70s, man. You know, fucked up. That's our land, man, right now. You know, these heathens, they polluting it, man. They got fucking, Pink City, you know, where they have the biggest gay parade in that land, which that's
like, yo,
an abomination, man.
Yeah, you're supposed to be the Lord's people.
Yeah.
And you doing that in a sacred land. It's supposed to be sacred land. It's polluted. It's forsaken land, but that's the so-called, let favor be shown to the wicked.
Yeah. Yeah, will he not know righteousness, man?
Yeah, so you got the world, you could set everything right. I know it's not, I'm just, I'm being sarcastic and I'm just making a statement like, you have the world, you could rebalance the world to where you could forgive the debts.
Right.
You could forgive the debt, right? It won't hurt you. You could make the system right. It won't hurt. It won't put a dent in your pockets. All right? It won't put a dent in your shekels. And you could be straight and still be, but you get off on seeing people suffer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I got you right here. This is the reason why. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. You're not righteous or just. The so-called white man is not righteous, he's not just. His spirit is the wicked. Mm-hmm. He's to be demonic, the adversary, all right, and a liar, to deceive. That's him. That's his thing, is to take peace from the earth, death, destruction, famine, disease, death, destruction, famine. Disease, death, destruction, famine, witchcraft. Disease, death, destruction, famine, witchcraft. That's his M.O. since he got into power.
Yep.
And all the only thing left for him now is to get cooked and enslaved where he belongs. When I say he, the women too, the child, you gotta go.
That's right, bro. That's right, man.
Yeah, and look, man, but why they can't have a piece of, listen, man, because Yahweh Shem Yahushua said so. That's it.
That's it.
And you got a problem, you take that up with management. You take that up with management. How about should be outside? You take it up with management.
It's just that Jake don't want to wait. They lack patience. You know, you got to be patient in this thing, man. You know, that's why the Lord said, "Wait upon me until I rise up to the prey." You know, this is not our doing. This is the Heavenly Father doing. You know, and when He sends back His Son, you know, someone that's profitable, right? He's gonna be the one that's gonna rule this earth in righteousness, man. He's gonna bring back righteousness on the planet Earth, man.
Yeah.
Because right now, what Esau's doing, all right, the scripture said the thief cometh not, but to steal, kill, and destroy, man. Yeah. That's his MO. That's his true nature.
Yeah, that's his nature. And they're going into slavery. And they're going into slavery. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is merciful, because if it was up to us, these nations would stay in captivity. Right. They're staying. You know what I mean? But you see, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they're the top with the mercy. Because if it was up to us, your ass would stay in the slavery. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You would want to do it to us.
Yeah. But I mean, that's exactly what they wanted to do to us. They wanted to basically genocide us. Yeah. You know? But that's what the Lord is going to do to them.
Leave a few left. You heard me? Leave a few left.
Yeah. We don't want to see their red ass anyway.
Yeah.
But let me continue on, right? It says, let me read that again. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith."
The just shall live by faith. The just is the elect, faith-based Israelites. You right. Damn Skippy. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's right. You're right on with that one, because that's the only thing we have is the faith. We have faith because we have faith that all these things gonna take place.
That's right. It's basically, you know,
we're in the last generation.
It's through our faith. That's how we're gonna be saved. We're gonna be healed.
I don't see 30. I don't see 30 years. I don't see 30 years.
Hell no.
I don't see 25.
I don't even see 5 more years in this place.
I don't see it.
You know what I'm saying? So
how that can happen? Because it don't take that much for the height of World War III to take place.
Right.
It don't take that much for a nationwide and a global famine, but I'm talking about nationwide.
Right.
An outbreak that's worse than the Black Plague.
Well, right now, you know, it's a thing right now. It's a disease out there in India. It's called I believe the Nipah. You can look it up, research it right now. They said, if you get it, it's through person-to-person contact. If you get it, you basically have a 15% chance of surviving it. You know what I'm saying? If you get it, your chances of 40 to 75% of being put to death. You know, that's how high the percentage of the you know, the death rate is, man. You know, and right now people are not really, you know, on it like that, but it's happening right now in India. You know what I mean? I believe like a couple people got it so far, but the Lord spoke on certain pestilence, man. You know, that people are gonna be put to death because that's prophecy, man. The Lord said He's gonna bring back the plagues of Egypt. You know, the 10 plagues and shit. Mm-hmm. So these plagues are going to be even more deadlier. All right. Mm-hmm. So let me read on. It says, "Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man."
Transgressed by wine is philosophies, all his ideologies, and you can look it up now. You had a spokesman promoting that ideologies. You got Trump. You had Charlie Kirk. All of these people on a whole list of things: that American dream, the democracy, the free enterprise, the capitalism. All of these things is that wine. The witchcraft, his monetary system, his debt system. All this shit is witchcraft. Yeah. He transgressed by wine. Women's rights. Women equals is your body. She ain't married. You could sleep with her.
Yeah.
to tell a woman you could cheat on your boyfriend, y'all ain't married or this and that. No, all of these things is that's more that one, yo.
And they want to push. That's why the said the nations are mad because that's one of the reasons why America want to invade Iran because they want to push a democracy state out there in Iran. You know, to have the because it was like that back in the 70s. You know, you had the women, you know, dressing a certain way, and then you had the Ayatollah. They came in and took over, and then you know they enforced that Sharia law on them. You know, had them the women covered up, and which is nothing wrong with that. But what America wants to promote is basically, you know, the democracy, man, out there, and you know, Iran ain't having that shit. That's why you had the, you know, so-called Trump protesters out there, which was all, you know, basically pushed by America. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
To get the people roused up to enforce, you know, martial law and shit like that. Try to, you know, go up in there and set a coup, you know, basically out there in Iran. So it was like, yo, basically, listen, the you know, prime minister out there was like, yo, I'm gonna start hanging motherfuckers, man. And they didn't know that a lot of those they had Israeli CIAs out there, the Mossad,
Yeah.
yeah, out there.
They be doing hits and
right,
shit.
they were out there in Iran, and I believe I forgot what country basically put them on like, yo, listen, you know, we're gonna start hanging them. I forgot what country told Iran to go scoop them up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like yo, they out there.
Okay.
To go and snatch them up and do a public execution.
Oh, the Ayatollah?
Yeah, the Ayatollah niggas is like, yo, we're gonna put a public execution on the Mossad agents out there. So that's why America backed off. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Trump was talking that shit like they was going to try to invade Iran and whatever. But either way, that's the spirit of the Lord anyway. Because they wasn't going to do shit without Trump. Trump knows that, you know, the bear is in the, you know, in the cut waiting.
Yeah,
you know, the bear I'm talking about is Russia. Big bad Russia.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they could try if they want. You know?
Try they will.
That's going to definitely, you know, get this thing going, up and going, you know. But you know, that's pretty much it, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna close out there, man. You know, through the spirit, man. You know, hopefully next week we be out there on the highways and byways.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a
brutal winter,
a rough, brutal, cold winter. You know what I'm saying? You know, through the spirit, but we're gonna keep pushing this word, man.
Yeah.
You know, till we no longer could push it no more, man. You know.
So it was like 7 degrees this morning.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, I believe it was -4 about 7 o'clock. So it's a brutal winter, man. You know what I'm saying? But you know, through the spirit, we you know, we're gonna keep doing what we got to do, man. Pushing this word, man. So Yahweh Shai comes back. All right. So with that, we're gonna end it there. All praises due to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom. So